Yes.
Good
Hi,
morning,
Greg.
Queens. How are you doing?
Thank you, honey. How are you?
Thank
I'm
you.
awake and I'm excited to be here. I'm sorry, it's Los Angeles. It's early. Um, but first, I have to tell you guys, I'm a huge fan of all the international franchises. So I've been so excited and been waiting for Global All Stars for a year, like knowing that it was happening. My first question is for Alyssa. I have to ask you, a lot of your colleagues have gone back to other All Star seasons. What made you want to go back to Global All Stars?
Um, I really wanted to challenge myself. This was the perfect opportunity for me to really click the refresh tab, and really. I think here's the thing that I didn't come back for validation or vindication. And I say this and I'm going to keep saying it. This was a personal goal for me. I'd already lost and then got the bigger win in the end. This was an opportunity for me to be gay and have fun. This is a celebration of drag, and this is the world's largest drag competition officially. 12 queens from 12 countries. This is a celebration of drag, and it just made sense for me to represent the red, white, and the blue.
And Queen, I wanted to ask you, you were top three on your season on Down Under. Did you feel coming to this competition, was there any sense of something to prove that, you are being judged by Rue again, that maybe she should have picked you the first time?
Not at all. Like also, obviously Spanky is like my beautiful sister, and so is Hanaconda, and Spanky deserved to win. And I think coming into Global, getting to see Rue again and meeting all these other queens, like Alyssa, I didn't have anything to prove. This was a personal goal, and I also wanted to come in and show how much I've grown and how much I've learned since my season. Because the queen that I am now is so different to the queen that I was even 2, 3 years ago. So, I'm really excited for the world to see what we're about to bring.
I cannot wait as well. And Miranda, I wanted to ask you, when you shot this, your season was airing. Like it was going on
Yes.
and people were experiencing it. Was it a tough decision to be like, okay, I'm going to go into this world and sort of like turn everything off and experience what was going on with Drag Race Brazil just to have this experience?
Yeah, in the morning that I got the call, I had to take a moment to think about because I would miss half of my season. I would give up on being on my finale here in Brazil, celebrating the last episode of Drag Race Brazil, and all the things that was really important to me, like to go meet people and to see the episodes together. I had to give up, but come on, it's global and it's in dollar and it's worldwide. So I just have to think for 2 minutes and then I was okay.
Rue and Queen, I wanted to ask you, obviously you both have been judged by I'm sorry, Alyssa and Queen. I'm sorry, it is early. You have both been judged by Rue before. Did you, and also Kitty did you feel like that gave you guys an advantage at all in terms of coming into the competition because you at least had experienced her before?
I think for
No.
me personally, yeah, I thought it was like I was actually thinking, oh my gosh, this could be a disadvantage
Yeah,
because
I feel like
like
she was gonna.
Rue, yeah, it's like
She
Rue
would,
had
she,
two
because
already.
she knew us.
So
Yeah, I feel like because she knew us, she was probably like more hypercritical because she had obviously seen what we had done originally and would be expecting 3 times better. And so,
yeah, it's like what it's same thing. I'm going back to my students. I mean, I know what you're capable of. I know what I've shared with you. I know the lessons that we've gone through. We've reviewed and reviewed again. This is your moment to show me that you are ready to graduate. And so I thought there was a part of me that was like, maybe there will be other judges from other franchises. Um, but it always is a learning lesson to be in front of Rue. I mean, she, after all, is the mother. I mean, she championed this show at a time when drag wasn't being celebrated.
Hmm.
And here we are now. It's the most decorated series on television. And we're now celebrating drag all around the world and ay, ay, ay. And that's what brought us all here together. So I'm definitely very grateful and thankful.
And in fact, drag is massive in so many countries around the world. And Miranda, I wanted to ask you if you were to try to explain to an American how big drag
Mm.
is to Brazilians, how would you explain it? On a scale of 1 to 1,000, how passionate are Brazilian drag fans?
Probably 4,000 because we are following RuPaul's Drag Race since season one. I mean, like we are watching this like 16, 17 years, and we got our own history with drag queens here in Brazil. We have doing drag since the dictatorship in the 60s, and we got doing this over 45, 50 years probably, and we still have like 80 years old queens here working as drag queens, and we have teenagers doing drag. We have millions and millions of people following drag queens. We have Pablo Vittar, the most beautiful and amazing singer here in Brazil, that's a drag queen. So we are like a continental country. We are huge, and our passion for drag queens is probably the same size of the country.
Well, I wanted to ask all three of you, and if I could start with Alyssa, what made Global All Stars tougher than your original season? And was there anything that made it more fun?
I mean, I was on season 5 and All Stars 2. I was in the early seasons. The world of drag has evolved. Families are watching it now. It's completely mainstream. All eyes are on you. I'm knocking everything over. I'm getting nervous again. See, in true Alyssa Edwards form and fashion. But this to me is the pinnacle. Truly, when I say that, I mean it. And the stakes are so high. The workroom is bigger. The stage is larger. And I think now that you're not being judged just by the judges on set, but everybody at home. It's like, here's the thing. I remember being a child going, what is this fascination with American football and sports? And my father was one of those, avid sports followers. Now it's drag and drag race and so it's nerve-wracking because you're putting yourself and your work and your art and your heart to be viewed by millions of people. So it's this global idea. When they told me that it was going to be a global, not a versus the world, I had to really pump the brakes, pause, and pray about this and ask myself, are you ready for this? Are you prepared for this? And I didn't know if I fully was, but I knew I would take the floaties off and dive into 12 feet. You got one or two options. You're going to sink or swim. So lady, you better kick it in high gear, gal.
Queen, really quickly, what about you?
Oh, this is the thing. I think because we've all done a season before, for me, like this was literally like a victory lap. I wanted to come in, I wanted to have fun. And I think if anyone that watched my first season, they saw a version of Queen that was so locked into trying to be perfect, to trying to, not cross all the T's and like dot all the I's. Whereas this time I wanted to come back, I wanted to showcase growth, I wanted to have a lot of fun, and I wanted to laugh. So fun was my priority, and joy, and happiness. I wanted to have a really good experience and showcase really good drag. And so tough. The stakes are really high, so it felt tough. But I think the majority of the time I wanted to enjoy the experience and have it for myself, which I did feel I did at the end. Yeah.
Well, ladies, I can't wait to see how all of you perform on the season. I'm so excited, and thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Have a good one.
Greg.